Que te cuide, me hace falta.
Yo también. Te extraño, me gusta pasar mi tiempo allá contigo y con Rocky.
Qué bueno, ¿eh? Cuando estés solita, vuelve otra vez.
Sí, claro.
Ok, mija.
Te amo muchísimo.
Ok, que Dios te bendiga. Bye.
Bye, te amo.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, I was literally gonna start filming this and then Willow called me, and obviously I was gonna pick up our phone call, but yeah. So I'm gonna clean my glasses real quick because I realized as I was looking at myself in the viewfinder that they're dirty, and I can just hear grandma. I can just hear her. Anyways, I was too lazy to get up and turn on the light actually, and it's 9:45 p.m. so I have like this little ring light and I just set it up there, and that's what we're working with right now. But honestly, I think the lighting's pretty good. Like, it's pretty solid. Anyways, cleaning my glasses. I just got back from Willow's house today, which is, I think she called me because she was having withdrawals. I'm kind of having withdrawals too. Whenever I stay with her for long periods of time, I really miss her when I get home. It's really weird because her house has always been like a second home, so when I'm there, I don't necessarily feel homesick in the way I do like when we travel. So it's just, I don't know, it's a funny feeling. I've been at Willow's for the past week. I thought I was going to be there actually for 3 whole weeks, but then kind of got the news that we have family members coming in for various reasons, and so I packed up all my stuff and came back home. When I'm at Willow's house, there is no way of getting out unless my grandma comes or some other member of my family who drives and has a car comes to take us out to go get like a smoothie or ice cream or to go grocery shopping. And so we're just stuck there, the two of us. And this is the first summer where I don't have work or school, so I have no responsibilities. Therefore, this past week that I've been there, I've just had so much time to just sit and think, which I do all the time anyway, but just like uninterrupted sit and think time. And I've been kind of like obsessing over a few things. Or not obsessing, but I had really deeply thought about and pondered a few things. And one of those things I was thinking about even here, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna talk about it. Because I always feel so much better when I talk about things and I get them off my chest. So, here's my little therapy session for myself. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard to make friends in your 20s? Why is it so hard to make friends in your 20s? I've got 3 besties. We've got Nat, we've got Cheeps, we've got Ollie. Those are my 3 besties, okay? But being as we're in our 20s, we are all in such different points in our lives, different points in our lives in everything. In school, in work, in relationships, just like everything you could possibly think of, responsibilities, like just anything. Currently, I'm not working. They all 3 have jobs right now. I'm not in school anymore, and neither is Shelby, but Nat and Ollie still are. So it's just like we're just everywhere. Shelby's married, Oliver's got a girlfriend, me and Nat are single. It's just like everybody's in such a different place that it can be hard to sometimes like hang out and stuff, and I end up feeling like alone a lot because even though I have these great amazing friends that I love, I don't always, sometimes they're all 3 busy, and then I'm just like, wow, I have no friends. It's not true. Just all my friends are busy. Lately I've been like, wow, I wish I had more friends so that like there could be more of a variance of schedules so that it would be easier to like hang out with people and see people. Also, there are certain things that I like to do that some of my friends will, A, they're not busy but they're not interested, or B, they're interested but they're busy. So if I could find some friends that are interested and not busy in some of the same things that I enjoy, that would be great. For example, I love going to concerts. Going to concerts, live music, one of my favorite things because I love music so much, and there's something about being there. It's like an energy thing, and like anybody who's been to a concert who likes concerts, you know what I mean. I just freaking love a concert. I live my best life at concerts. Why does nobody want to go to a concert with me? Why? So, and then it's just like also with concerts, it's so subjective because me and my friends have different music tastes, and sometimes it overlaps and sometimes it doesn't. So then there's just so much, and I'm just like, if I could have a friend who liked to go to just concerts, any concerts, let's go. Well, not any concerts, but if they were down to go to any concerts and they would come to the concerts I like with me, that would be great. I'm pretty down for most concerts, unless we're gonna be like getting our limbs broken in a mosh pit, or like it's screamo. Like, I'll go to a country concert. I don't know if I would go to a rap concert though. I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, why is it so hard to make friends? So I feel like making friends in your 20s, I feel like there's kind of a setup for it. I've found, just me personally, that most people that I see that are in friend groups are there's one of two situations. One, they've been friends with those people all their lives, since childhood. I'm taking this off. All their lives, since childhood. These are their childhood friends. This is their childhood friend group. Two, these are their college friends. This is their college friend group. So I'm gonna hit the college one first. College friend group, I've noticed that the closer college friendships that I've seen are, they went away to college. These are like the people they met in their dorm, or their roommate, or their roommate's friend group, or just like, you know, apartment, whatever. I did not go away for college. In fact, I started college, my first 2 years of college, I was done from here, because it was COVID, baby, and there was nowhere to go. And there were no friends to be made. Literally, WhatsApp group chats for our class. That was it. That was all there was for the first 2 years of college. And then I did go in person, you know, after the first 2 years, and I joined a sorority, but I'm really shy. And I was like busy, too busy to, how do I explain this? In a sorority, one of the number one things I always heard was you get in what you put out. And unfortunately, I was too busy, and there was a couple other factors like transportation and just the fact that I didn't live on campus and I was a commuter that just contributed to me not being able to be around super duper much, which meant that I wasn't creating more friendships. Like, I do have some wonderful friendships and I met amazing girls, but I don't really have like a Rolodex of people that I can call up, and the people that I'm the closest with are the busiest, because we've got my big, she lives in Washington right now because she goes to school over there. We've got my G big, she's got a full-time job, she's adulting for real, and we've got my auntie who's still a college student, still super busy and like in that, and I know how stressful that can be for her, so I'm not gonna like call her up and be like, hey, I know you're stressing out about like school and stuff right now, but since I don't have school, do you wanna hang out? Really feel like I don't have like a college group of friends like to hang out with and like do stuff with, and that makes me really sad. And I definitely have college friends, and if it was meticulously planned, I could get those previous people that I just talked about together, but it would take meticulous planning, and there's something so real about it being so hard to plan anything in your 20s. Like, even like a lunch is like, it's like Jenga, or not Jenga, well yeah, because if you pull out a piece, yeah, everything falls apart, okay? And then the childhood friend group thing, I don't have that. I wish I could build a time machine and I could go back to elementary school and grab a couple people and be like, okay, we're friends forever now, and super glue that. Like gorilla glue that, gorilla glue the friendships, and then hop back to the future and then have friends to hang out with, go to concerts with, go to the farmer's market with, go to the movies. Well, no, I can go to the movies with Nat and Oliver, but Oliver moved, and so that's a whole other thing. So I had 2 friends that lived here. Out of my 3 besties, I had 2 friends that lived here. One of them has moved, so now I've got one bestie who lives here, but she has work and school, and I'm just like, I understand that my friends are busy, so it's just like, I don't want to bother you. And that's another thing, because I always feel like I'm a bother. So I'm just like, how am I supposed to live? Because I have too much anxiety to do most things by myself for multiple reasons. One of them, the top one, is safety. There are things that I could, like, I wish I, like, I know that I could muster up to do it by myself, in terms of like, oh, nobody's with me and I can enjoy it by myself. It's the safety thing that scares me. Like, it's scary to be female and just go out by yourself, especially for things that are like late at night, or in, you know, like places where you're just like, I probably shouldn't be here by myself, you know. I know that there are people out there who like the same stuff that I do. I just know there are. I know that there are Swifties. I know that there are people who listen to Taylor, Olivia, Sabrina, Gracie, did I say Gracie already? Conan, Harry, like, I know that there's people who share my music taste, books. I know that there are my Emily Henry girlies out there, Shatter Me series. Like, I just know, like, Cruel Prince, there's people out there, but where are they? How do I find them? Like, why can't there be a Friends R Us? Remember when we were kids and we would go to Toys R Us and we would pick out the toys we wanted meticulously? Listen, Toys R Us days, that was a whole experience. My grandmother would take me and my sister, we would be there for at least an hour to just like making sure. Why can't we do that with friends? Why can't I go to Friends R Us and just type in, like, you know, concerts, Swiftie, loves to read. What else? Twilight marathon, binge watch a New Girl, and then like pop out with like some friends out here that I can go and do stuff with, or like just, I don't know. And then I'm just like, am I the only one who is like, how do I make friends as a 20, like in your 20s? Am I the only one who hasn't figured it out? And the thing is, I can, but not long-lasting friendships. And what I mean by that is, when I go on vacation or when I go to a concert, well, I've only been to one. No, I've been to one concert by myself. Yeah. I can make friends like for a few hours or for a few days, but that doesn't translate into like a friendship where you're actually hanging out with that person outside of that specific scenario. And I would like to make lasting friends where I can hang out with that person or those people, whomever. The battery died. All my batteries are dead. Anyways, whomever they might be, wherever they might be, how do I find them? And then I feel like that sounds so weird. Like, does that make me sound crazy? Does that make me sound crazy that I'm like, where do I find the peeps? Where are the people? Even right now, I have a story that I found out about as of yesterday. And the first thing I did when I found out was I called Natalie and I told her. And then I was like, I know this, so I knew I was gonna come home today, so I was like, I'll tell Naomi tomorrow when I see her in person. And I was like, I'm gonna have to call Oliver because, you know, he's not here. And so I tried to tell him last night and he was busy, and then I tried to tell him this morning and he was busy, and then I tried to tell him again like an hour ago and he was busy, which I totally get. But then at that point I'm like, oh my god, when I finally tell this man my story, he's gonna think like, really, you've been bothering me all this time for that? And I'm gonna be like, I'm so sorry, you're right, it's not important at all. And I don't know, I hate feeling like a nuisance, and I hate feeling like I have nobody to go to, but I know I do have people to go to, but they're busy and I just don't want to bother anybody. So if I had more people to go to, then I think that maybe I could solve this problem. I don't know, I'm just ranting at this point, but I've been thinking about it the whole week. I think this is probably really just a byproduct of, it's the first time in so long that I truly have nothing to do, which is great because I needed the break, but then it's also like puts me in a pickle when all my friends have stuff to do, and then I'm just like, whom do I talk to? Whom? And then I start thinking of talking to people I shouldn't be talking to, and that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing, because I can't. I refuse to allow myself to get to a point where I talk to people that I know I shouldn't talk to because of this. Anyways, Friends Are Us. When can we open one up? I would like to establish a Friends Are Us in my neighborhood. A total other thing, and this is like specific to me, and like just like no judgment at all, but I don't party. I don't drink. I don't do anything I shouldn't, you know, legally be doing. Get what I mean? So I feel like at the current age that I'm at, and I know there are other people out there who don't, because, you know, I've got Nat who doesn't. I have some friends who do. I've got some friends who don't. But I feel like that also kind of limits my friend pool, because, and this could just be me, but I'm so afraid that most people my age will see me as like being lame because I don't party, among various other reasons, like my general social awkwardness and my inability to talk in most social settings, but, or talk too much. I either go nonverbal or I'm yapping, and I'm yapping about things that nobody cares about, like books. So I wonder if like that too also affects things, because I'm not really one who's gonna want to be at like a loud house party where the music is blaring so loud that my ears feel like they're bleeding, you know? And then I would be down to go out dancing, but just like under the right circumstances. Like I don't want to be worried about, I don't want to be like I'm a mom friend naturally, but I don't want to be in the position where I'm like looking after a bunch of inebriated people, because then I'm anxious, and I honestly don't work well under pressure like that. I do and I don't. Like I think I could handle a situation, but it would be so bad for me that I don't want to put myself through that. And I don't think that that's selfish. I think that that's fair, that I wouldn't want to be like stressed out on a night out if I'm supposed to be having fun. And I would be stressed out, but it's just because I care so much. But then it's like, whatever. I think maybe I'm just meant to have 3 friends. No, I have more than 3 friends. I have several, but I think I'm maybe just meant to stay home. Maybe I'm just meant to not leave the confines of this place. That's it. I feel like I've talked too much about this. I feel like this is already getting rambly, and I feel like this is probably like a stupid rant anyway. But it's how I feel. I'm genuinely like frustrated by this. I don't know. Anyways, me and my subpar social skills and my loneliness are gonna keep reading Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I'm like, what, 40 or 50 pages in right now? It's pretty good. I like it. I love a hockey romance anyway. Because the Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup for the first time in the franchise history. Woo woo. And I immediately was like, you know what, I want a hockey read now. And so I started reading it yesterday. The Panthers won, what day is it today? Today's Thursday. The Panthers won Monday or Tuesday? I think the Panthers won Monday, and I started reading it Wednesday. Yeah, and today's Thursday. Yes, that's the timeline. Anyways, I'm gonna read Wildfire. Bye.